Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, as always. On today's show, we're going to talk about the latest trade rumors surrounding the New York Knicks because Bill Simmons on his podcast talked about the idea of Joel Embiid becoming extremely frustrated with the current situation that's going on with the Philadelphia Sixers. He talked about how it doesn't seem like it's Joel Embiid's team anymore and how it's just the 2019 Rockets. And could Embiid look to force a trade if the Philadelphia 76ers continues to stink this year? Let's go right to Bill Simmons and see what he had to say on his podcast. He said, Embiid is not happy. I would watch the Embiid thing because you have the Knicks sitting there. They are run by Leon Rose and worldwide William Wesley, who, you know, were Embiid's guys before they were agents. They didn't make the Donovan Mitchell trade. They have this war chest of stuff, and I guarantee they are throwing charcoal on the fire saying, man, Joel, what's going on? Why is this Harden's team now? There is no way if they feel Embiid is even remotely unhappy that they are not going to pour as much gasoline on that fire as they can. First, before we talk even more about this Joel Embiid stuff, I just want to say this. The Sixers suck, and I love it. It is so good to see the Sixers having the floor just removed from out under them. They thought they could trade for James Harden, a washed-up superstar, and thought, quite frankly, shit would be sweet. And it ain't sweet. It hasn't worked out. Go back to the playoffs, they looked terrible. Joel Embiid and James Harden looked good as teammates for about 2 weeks. And then Embiid said, I'm not a pick-and-roll guy. I ain't a rim-running big. Give me the ball on the block and get out of the way and let me go to work. I love seeing the Sixers just being a bad basketball team. So let's embrace it. You see the title right there, there it is. Let's type F Philly in the chat right now. You know how we get down on this channel. We're all about the rivalry. You hate the Sixers. You hate Philadelphia. If you're just a New Yorker, go down right now and type F Philly in the comment section. We're going to continue to break down this Joel Embiid trade and story here in a little bit, but this is why you subscribe. For news, rumors. My job is to talk about the latest rumors surrounding the New York Knicks. I give my take, and then I take the pulse of New York Knicks Now Nation, the real ones. Look, if a trade happens, we're going to be going live on this channel. If the Knicks make any moves, we'll make a video. Every time they make a move, anytime news comes out, rumors, post-game videos, we go live for almost every single game day. Hit that big red button. Lock us in. Sub for Knicks Dubs. I love Mitchell Robinson. I don't want that to be misconstrued right here because I know a lot of people are probably watching and already saying, Marsh, we already have our center. This is a guy that's going to be competing for Defensive Player of the Year. And I agree. I think Mitchell Robinson is going to have his best season in the NBA this year. But he's not a guy that's finished top 5 in MVP voting the last 2 seasons. Joel Embiid. I love Mitch. But Embiid is different, guys. Look at these stats on screen the last 4 years in the National Basketball Association. 30.5 points in 2021 and 2022 on 49% from the field and 37% from downtown. Guys that are 7'2", 270, 280 pounds are not supposed to do that. The last 4 years, the guy has averaged 28, 30, 29, and 31 with 11-plus boards and shooting better than 47.7%. And he's becoming a better three-point shooter every single season. Do you think he's happy that James Harden is now the lifeline and the bloodline of that team? He's the guy that's running the show. It's ISO Harden. It's back to the 2019 Rockets. Joel Embiid is upset. He's not a rim-running big. He's not a pick-and-roll guy. And that's why his numbers are a little bit down this year, only 27.5 points per game. I know we've only played four games, so it's nothing to look too deep into, but he is still dominant. 27.5 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, almost a block and a half, 52% from the field. Joel Embiid is that guy. If he becomes available, the Knicks are going to be on the line. The ties to CAA, ties to Leon, ties to World Wide West, the treasure chest of assets the Knicks have. We'll break all that down in a second. But before we even talk about a trade idea and what might get involved and what the Knicks might have to do to make a trade happen, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. The real ones. Sound off for me right now. Should the Knicks trade for Joel Embiid? Keep it simple. Type T for trade, type P for pass. I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. If you type T, you're a smart man, smart woman. But you got to realize it ain't going to be cheap. If anything, and Knicks fans should know that. We just went through a summer long of trade negotiations for Donovan Mitchell, and we realized trading for Donovan Mitchell wasn't going to be cheap. They wanted everything we had to offer. And we have a lot to offer. When you look at the draft picks the Knicks have available over the next couple of years, they have 7 first-round picks that they could trade over the next 7 years. 3 years, excuse me. They have 8 tradable first-round picks right now because you can only go so far into the future to trade picks. So you have 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years. You have 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years. And I'll tell you this. At some point, you got to consolidate your assets to go make a move because Leon Rose didn't make all these trades to get all these first-round picks to make picks and develop through the draft. The Knicks are past that. You don't sign Jalen Brunson to a $25 million deal to go and develop through the draft and make 7 first-round picks over the next 3 years. At some point, the Knicks are going to consolidate their assets and make a trade for a big fish. Joel Embiid, he is a big fish, and it would cost a lot to get him. And it's a trade idea I cooked up. I didn't cook it up. Me and my guy, Chase Sr., he runs our Philadelphia 76ers Now channel. We went back and forth, did a little in-office debate on if this was enough. Would you do this? Would you do this? And we kind of came to an agreement of this. It's a lot. Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, 6 first-round picks, 3 unprotected. They're probably going to want R.J. Barrett as well. They might want Emmanuel quickly. It costs to be the boss. You got to spend money to make money. If you want Joel Embiid to be a Knick, you're going to have to give up a lot. Finished top 5 in the MVP voting in the past 2 seasons. But he's that damn good of a basketball player. I'll give you my take on this trade in a second, but I want to hear from you guys first because you guys know we rely on audience interaction, and I want to hear from you guys down in the comments section. Let me know what you're thinking. Would you make this trade? Would you make this trade if the Sixers called you up and said, if you give us Robinson, Toppin, Grimes, 6 first-round picks, 3 unprotected, would you make the deal? I want you to sound off in the comments. Type A for accept, type D for decline. Let me know what you're thinking. The trade, it's a little rich, no doubt about it. I mean, look, 6 draft picks is nothing to scoff at. But like we showed just a second ago, you have 11 first-round picks over the next 7 years. You trade 6 of them, you still got 5 first-round picks over the next 11 years. So essentially you have a first-round pick every other year. And Joel Embiid would walk in here and be the best player on your team come from day one. Could you imagine Jalen Brunson and Joel Embiid? That's a lot of offense right there. That's a problem in the Eastern Conference. I don't think this is a trade that would happen now, maybe closer to the trade deadline, maybe in the offseason. Joel Embiid did just sign that monster contract extension. But we've seen players like Donovan Mitchell who signed that contract extension and tried to get out of it and inevitably forced a trade. Players are getting their money, then they're worried about forcing a trade. Embiid cannot be happy about the way things are playing out early on in the season in Philadelphia, and the fact that, honestly, they're the 2019 Rockets, and instead of Clint Capella, it's Joel Embiid, who's running a bunch of screen and rolls and not being featured the way he should. It's a little rich for me, but at the end of the day, I would make that trade because you have to have stars to win in this league, and Joel Embiid is as big as any star in the association. 7'2", 280 pounds. He's a walking 30-11 with a block and a half and 4 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 37% from downtown. Joel Embiid is special. I'd make the trade, but it sure is a lot, and I totally agree if you wouldn't do it. I appreciate everybody that's made New York Knicks Now a part of their day today. If you made it this far in the video, I want you to just type real one in the comments section. It's something I like to do on the videos because I go down in the comment section, I look at every video, and I go and I look at the comments. And I like to know who finishes the videos and who doesn't finish the video so I can make sure I'm showing love to the real ones. So if you made it this far in the video, you bleed Knicks orange and blue, and you show love to this channel, I want you to type real one down in the comments right now.